Warning: this podcast discusses paranormal activity and other topics some might find disturbing. Listener discretion is advised. Hello, everybody.
Hello, everybody.
Hello, Daniel.
How's everybody doing this morning?
Daniel.
Ashley.
What are you doing? How are you?
I'm well. How are you doing?
I'm fine.
Just got done cleaning the house. Feels nice and fresh.
So fresh and so clean.
Yes.
It looks good.
It does look good. Feels good.
Gonna mop tomorrow and get the just nice fresh, but I want it to be tomorrow before I mop.
Sure.
It's a lot of floor.
It is a lot of floor. A lot of square footage.
Yes, and it's all wood.
It's nice hardwood.
I like to vacuum.
So, what are we talking about today?
Well, before we do that,
Okay.
Any updates? Any life updates? We have just been trucking along. My TikTok has grown a little bit. I did a live with David from the Process podcast.
Yep.
That was a lot of fun.
That was fun. I got to peek in for a bit.
We had a great time. I'm going to have him back on the show I need to go on his show. We're going to link up. It's going to be great.
Lots of shows.
And yeah, today we have a little bit of a different episode because we did not have time to research the carriage house. I did look into it. I did not see a lot of information on it.
Yeah, I didn't either. I mean, I looked into it when I first found it and tried to find some stuff. And
that might be an episode where we have to wait until we go to do it.
Yeah.
Instead of research ahead of time because it didn't seem like a ton.
Yep. I have a feeling I'm going to talk more about the architecture.
That's fine. Well, that's what we do. We go to these places. I like the ghosties and you like the building.
Yes.
And it just kind of works for both of us. We both get what we like.
Well, I feel like maybe today I get to be more of the star
You do.
of the show, and I'm really excited about it.
You do. So just to do something a little different, I wanted to do something that Daniel likes to talk about, and I really won't give much insight because I don't know anything about this. But Daniel is a conspiracy theorist.
I'm not a conspiracy theorist. I just know.
Yes, you are.
I know about conspiracies, and I think they're fascinating. I think there's bits of truth sprinkled throughout, and then some I do believe in.
I know. And I can tell when somebody like around us or is in our vicinity and they start talking about it and your little ears perk up and you're like,
ooh, I've got 2 cents. I got some dimes to throw in there.
So I thought it'd be nice. Just nothing too crazy because, I can't hang too far out there. But I'm just going to go through some of the conspiracies that I found online.
Okay.
And I'm going to ask you, do you believe in this or have you heard about it? And what are your thoughts? And let's just remember, I try to not offend a ton of people.
Well, you know me, I'm not.
I know you don't
politically
care.
correct.
I know you're not, but I try to stay middle of the road. You know what I mean?
Well, I get to be the star today, so
that's true. But just let's try to be very aware.
I will be thoughtful in my responses. I think that's fair.
That's all I can ask for, I guess.
Okay.
So we're going to jump right in with my first one to keep it kind of on the paranormal spectrum because I think this guy is considered somewhat paranormal to some people. We're not going to get too far into it because Justin's going to come and tell us all of his theories one day, and that's going to be a treat.
Okay.
What do you think about Bigfoot?
I think that if there is a Bigfoot, I think that he would be found in the Pacific Northwest.
Like Oregon,
Washington, probably more eastern side of the state. Maybe Northern California, northeastern California, somewhere in there. I think that it's very possible that he exists. I also think that maybe he comes in and out of a portal if he does exist. So
I've heard about the portal theories that people think that's why you can't catch him because he uses portals to come and go.
I will say this, as long as the Bigfoot theory has existed, it does make me wonder, because so many people have been looking for him, why we don't have more solid evidence. So that's kind of the other side of where my mind goes with Bigfoot.
Yeah.
But I also think that it's very possible that there is a species of large, hairy man beast.
Well, I mean, I married one. Large, hairy man beast.
Well, I'm very present.
You are very present. There is proof that you exist.
So I think it's very possible. That would be my short answer.
Well, there was just a sighting. I can't remember when, but it was recent down in South Carolina. Do you think that was genuine, or do you think that was just, somebody from like Bamberg?
No, I don't think.
Is that the city? Bamberg.
I don't think that. I think that it's going to be a colder climate. I think that it's going to be a rugged area. I think that it's not going to be very well populated. So that's why I think that
Bamberg.
Well, but I think that's where if Bigfoot existed, I think that's where it would be located. And there's been a lot of so-called sightings in that area. So
okay, what about UFOs? We've kind of talked about this here and there on other episodes.
So,
especially lately, like there's been tons of
the drones in New Jersey. That
was weird.
So UFOs, I think there's two components to UFOs.
Right.
I think that not just the U.S. military, but other countries throughout the world have flying tech that has not been released to the public, that the public doesn't know about. I think that is very real. I think that people have spotted those flying objects.
That would make sense.
So I think that's one part of it. The other part of it, I believe that it's possible. The reservation I have with alien visitation UFOs is the expanse of space that another possible advanced civilization from a different planet, which I do think exists. I think it exists multiple places in the universe.
Universe is just too big to be able to say we are the only life forms.
I think that I don't want to put a number on it, but I think that we're not as rare in the universe as we sometimes think. But the expanses of space are so large and so vast to be able to transverse those takes a very, very advanced civilization with tech that we can't even imagine, which I think is possible. But are they flying around in flying saucers? I don't think so. You
don't think they're wearing skin suits to look like us?
They could be. They could be. Think about it. When we go in space, we have spacesuits.
There was a show we watched a few years ago about alien sightings, and it was like a whole town had experienced something, and I can't remember.
There was a sighting up in northern Michigan, I believe in the early 90s, where hundreds of people had eyewitness accounts of, and I would say that's probably one of the most credible as far as a possible alien UFO. So, but I think for the majority of the UFOs that people see are probably advanced military tech.
Interesting. I've never really thought of it that way, but that would make sense because military, some of their planes look like drawings that people do of UFOs.
So imagine, because one of the things they talk about is how quickly these objects, especially a lot of the ones that were sighted in the 60s, 70s, and 80s, maybe even into the 90s, they talk about how fast these things move, how they can quickly and abruptly change direction. To me, that sounds a lot like drones that we have today. I think that those were probably developed, well back in the 60s and 70s, and nobody had ever seen anything like that. So I think that's a very real possibility.
What about the Loch Ness Monster? I think you and I differ on this one.
I don't want to discourage anyone who is a very big Nessie fan.
Sweet Nessie.
I don't buy it.
So my thing, so this is one that I don't mind speaking on because I do think that the oceans and the waterways are so deep and that there are things at the bottom of the ocean that we've never seen before.
I absolutely believe that.
And so that what the hell was that? Was that your stomach?
That was my throat.
We all I'm leaving that in so we could all hear the noises your throat just made.
It was a pressure equalization.
A pressure
Yes.
But there could be some form, some kind of aquatic being that's on the depth or, the bottom of that water system, whatever that is. I can't even remember where it is, that we've never seen before.
I don't think in that body. I can't remember exactly what it's like.
I don't know how deep it is.
It's a lock, which is basically the same thing as a lake. It is very deep, but I don't think that body of water is big enough to sustain something that large.
He looks precious.
I'm not buying it.
That little picture of whatever they captured that they say is the Loch Ness. I mean, it just looks like something that would be in like Me and My Dinosaur book for kids, like a little smile. I
will say this. If it does exist, it's not nearly the size as people say it is. I think it would be much smaller, maybe the size of, say, like a Saint Bernard. Something like
Saint Bernard. Okay. Well, I think he's down there. And the only reason I even would think that maybe it could be possible is because seeing pictures of down in the bottom depths of the ocean, those creatures that live down there in the darkness, they are horrifying.
Well, the ocean is completely different than a lake.
But the water gets to lake somehow, okay? Just they're all connected. The water is all connected some way, somehow, right? You think Bigfoot lives in Oregon. Hear me out.
Okay.
The water, the darkness, it's so dark. You just can't see down there. And these creatures, they are creatures. Like creatures. Like I have this visual. I don't know what it is. But like the pictures, they send those little submarines and the light lights them up, and they're just like these little like fangs and like.
Well, most of the things that live down there are I won't say most, but a lot of them do have bioluminescence.
Yeah. Okay.
But I just don't think that body of water is large enough or even deep enough to sustain something as large as they say it is.
What about skinwalkers?
I've gotta say there's something to skinwalkers.
Really?
I think that
they are part of the Navajo.
Yeah, I honestly
folklore.
I haven't done enough digging on skinwalkers. I've just seen a couple of things here and there, but kind of what I guess leans me that way is I believe Native Americans, I believe that they're more in tune with nature and...
You're right. Oh, I believe that all day.
And
well, it says they are...
Other forms of... I think they're just open to that. So, I what it is, I'm not sure. I think there's something to it.
It believes that they're malevolent witches from the Navajo folklore. They can transform into animals such as birds, wolves, coyotes. Twin Paranormal, they have gone to the Skinwalker Ranch several times and they talk about it. And so I've heard that they are people from the tribe who, now I'm not a professional and I have not researched this, so I'm just pulling from my memory, so bear with me. I've heard from those shows that skinwalkers are people that might have done something bad within the tribe and they have been like almost banished in death.
Yeah.
And so they turn into these skinwalkers and they're not, I guess, a positive being in the paranormal world. They're more of a negative. They says they can control minds. They call out, they make noises, they shapeshift. They just seem, they're very scary.
Yeah.
The idea of them.
I think it's more akin to demons. Like I believe there's a more of a spiritual aspect to it than some other things. So that, that's kind of where my mind goes when I think of it.
It says they're considered the opposite of Navajo values, performing evil ceremonies and using manipulative magic. Well, I know somebody who would fit right into that category. And
yeah.
Okay. What about, kind of in the same realm, the reptilian elite?
The reptilian elite, I think, is hilarious. I think it's fun.
What is that? Can you explain what that is?
So I don't know everything about it, but basically there is a contingent of humanoid reptiles who are in the shadows.
In skin suits?
No, they're actually humanoid reptiles. So very advanced cognitive reptiles.
What do they do?
They live in the shadows and they control society, government, money. They are basically in control of the world.
What about... I'm not going to go through all of these. I won't go through all of these. Justin sent some as well, and I've never heard of some of the ones that he sent.
Yeah.
What about JFK?
JFK, definitely an inside job.
Definitely.
Definitely.
You have hard evidence.
100%.
Okay.
I don't think...
You've heard it here, folks.
I think Lee Harvey Oswald did take shots. I think there was another shooter.
Just remember that's his opinion, and I'm just sitting here innocent.
but I definitely think someone in our government orchestrated that assassination.
You know, what's funny is I watched a Bones episode, and, you know, I love Bones. Watched it the season start to finish. Wanted to cry. Felt a little empty inside when that whole season, the whole show ended. But they did an episode about JFK. And it was very interesting what they were talking about, because I'm like, this sounds like a conspiracy theorist wrote this episode.
Yeah, since the beginning, since it happened, there's always been a questions about the official story. And I don't think that it was just a random act. I think that it was an orchestrated assassination by a group or groups of people within our government.
Within our, like, it was, okay. Well,
Yep.
See, I hate to think about, that makes me sad.
Well, we'll get into some more that I think are along the same lines.
I don't know if I will.
Well, I will.
Oh boy. Okay. What about Titanic?
Titanic, I think, was just a horrible accident.
So you don't think there was a second ship? Because I've seen.
No.
Okay.
No,
I don't know if
no.
you thought that.
No, I think there was a lot of arrogance and neglect on the part of the
Captain?
captain and officers on the Titanic.
Okay. What about the moon landing? Do you think it was real? Are you about to burst my bubble? Because you know I think it's real.
So
You're hesitating.
So
Oh no.
I think that it's very possible that it was staged.
Really?
Yes. I'm honestly on that one, I'm 50-50.
My life is a lie.
And one of the reasons that I think lends credibility to that is because we were in a race with the USSR
Russia, right?
Yeah, to the Soviet Union. So we were in a race to get to the moon, and if we could fake it and get away with it, we could claim that we got there and essentially beat the Soviet Union, or at least in that aspect. So I think that's very possible. Yeah. I don't disbelieve somebody who says it was faked. I wouldn't disbelieve somebody said, we actually went to the moon. So yeah, it's really 50-50.
Okay. Well, all right.
Here's my question.
Okay.
Why haven't we been back to the moon?
We've never been back. We've only been once, and that was it.
No, we've
I was going to say, haven't more people have been than just.
Not a lot.
Well, not a lot, but
you would think in 50, 60 years that we would have gone back multiple times.
But there's nothing there. It's boring.
Well,
nothing to do. Just jump around.
Just in a scientific endeavor.
I know. I'm just trying to bring some comedy to this.
Yeah, it makes you wonder.
Doesn't. I don't wonder at all. But thank you. So. He's getting annoyed. He's like looking at me like, stop it. Okay. Some of these I'm not asking because I don't. It's almost like too soon,
I'm probably going to bring it up.
No, I'm not. I'm not asking. What about weather manipulation? That we heard about that a lot this year with the hurricane. Now be sensitive, please, because there are some people in Western North Carolina who are still struggling. Yeah, I'm not going
to be offensive in that regard.
But do you honestly think the government made that happen?
No, I don't think we can manipulate weather to the point where we can make things happen. I think that it's within the realm of possibility for us to see something and potentially exacerbate a weather event by some form of manipulation.
Interesting. Okay, this one you'll like. The Egyptian pyramids. Have at it, baby.
The Egyptian pyramids.
He loves this one.
I believe were built way before the Egyptians that we know and we study.
Do you think aliens built them?
I don't think the aliens built them. I think there was a former civilization that...
This ties into your...
That was as advanced as us, if not more. I think they were actually more advanced than us, but I think they took a different route of technology that we have lost. And I think those are the ones that are responsible for building the pyramids.
Who you have also referenced before in another episode, that horrible show that we can turn on.
It's not horrible.
It is horrible. It's boring. And
that's your opinion. You're entitled to your opinion.
Yes.
It's not right, but
would you quit? If we talk over each other, it's very hard to edit.
We're not. Why would you edit this out?
Because
I'm right.
No, it's not because. I'm just saying in general for recording, it's very difficult when you talk over me. So knock it off.
Well, that's good to know. It's not a
But what
boring
is the show called? So if somebody wants to go take a nap, what is the show called?
If someone wants to learn something new and broaden their horizons, they can watch both episodes of Ancient Apocalypse.
Both episodes or both seasons?
Both seasons.
I was going to say, I've tried. I know there's more than two.
Thank you for correcting me.
You're welcome. That is why I'm here. That is why you married me. I'm very good at it.
That wasn't the only reason.
I hope not. Atlas Shrugged?
So
what is that?
So Atlas Shrugged is a book by Ayn Rand. And it kind of, the reason I brought that up, because that was the one I brought up.
I was wondering if that was you or Justin.
So the book kind of is basically about society and who runs society. Mm-hmm. And people start disappearing. And there's a line that says, "Who is John Galt?" And the reason I think it's kind of on the same lines as a conspiracy theory is because I believe that there have been and are people that have voluntarily gone missing, faked their own death to basically exit our society, to get off the grid. They're still alive, but they're operating in the shadows. She's stunned.
No, I'm bored.
Wow.
I'm just like, I've never heard of that. I live in my own reality.
Bubble.
Excuse me?
A bubble.
A bubble, yes. I live in a bubble. And it's kind of like my mom always says, keep your bluebirds close. Your little bluebirds falling around your head like Snow White, la-di-da-di-da. And that's how I prefer to live. And the chaos of the world that goes on around me outside of my walls, sometimes I do much better not knowing about them.
And let's let the listeners know that I do try to insert things into your bubble.
Yes, you do.
I don't want to pop it.
Yes, you do. You would love to pop my bubble.
I don't want to pop your bubble.
Sure you do.
I just want to expand it and then insert some things into your bubble.
I know you do. Har, har, har. No, but my bubble is perfectly happy. But I do tell people, like, I don't watch the news. I stopped watching the news.
I understand that completely.
I stopped watching the news back when I worked for the state government, and my people were being arrested left and right. And that's kind of how I figured out where they were when they would stop showing up. And it was very depressing to see their mugshots and to see them on TV and hear about their crimes. And like, I knew who they were. I knew what they did, but I tried to see, I was in rehabilitation. So I was trying to get to another point with them, get their lives to a better point, and to see them on TV and to know they were making such good progress and to see it so publicly displayed, it was just heart-wrenching. So I stopped watching the news back in my early 20s. So I really have not watched the news in almost 20 years on a regular basis.
So I totally get why people don't watch the news. It is depressing.
It's horrible. You tell me what I need to know, and sometimes more than what I need to know.
But I do enjoy watching the news.
I know you do. It's quite, my ex-husband does too. Daisy's dad loves to. And I'm like, but he's the same way. When we were married, he would let me know what I need to know. Okay. If I need to wear a jacket because the blizzard is coming, somebody is going to let me know, or I'm going to walk outside and my God-given horrible sight will tell me that I need a coat.
Now, let's do a little clarification.
What?
She does pay attention to the news.
What?
Celebrity news.
Oh, I am really good at pop culture.
She likes a little tabloid.
Tabloid?
Yeah.
I get my tabloid stuff from like Instagram and like seeing it. And I'm like, what?
You enjoy that news.
I do. It's entertainment.
And that's fun.
Yes. Now, do I like to see when celebrities are spiraling out of control and their life is about to tank? No, that makes me sad. I don't want to watch that.
Yeah.
But like Selena Gomez got engaged and she looks so happy, and that makes me happy because I love Selena Gomez. I love her. I think she stands up and speaks out with mental health and brings awareness to it to show that celebrities are people too and they deal with things like we do. And to see her smiling and showing off her engagement ring, that makes my heart really happy. So like that kind of stuff, I love that.
Well, see, I could care less about those people's lives. That's where I'm at. Like I don't care about their personal lives or what they do, or I don't want, if you're going to play in a movie,
And here I am I don't care about the news.
on the roll and make it a good movie, and that's all I care about.
Daniel will either, if he is in his car, he listens to talk radio about, these are really just really opinionated people who are gabbing about crap. And And I know how that sounds, me, a podcaster who's gabbing about crap, okay? I know how that sounds. But I mean, like, it is just like people bitching about stuff. And it's like, y'all sound miserable. You sound absolutely miserable. Shut up. Or if Daniel doesn't want to listen to other people talk, he'll just write in silence. And I think he's a sociopath.
Or I'll listen to music that you have no interest in.
Now, I'll listen to your music, though.
Some of it.
It's all depressing. It's so sad. It's all like sorrow.
Oh, don't even go there. Let's move on.
No,
Let's move on.
I think the listeners need sorrow.
No.
So here's the story.
No.
You don't want me to share your sorrow story? The kids love it.
No, I don't.
Okay, well, we'll move on then. New World Order. What is that?
So the New World Order is basically a secret, hidden organization that...
Like the Illuminati? Or
Yes.
is that... So Illuminati and the...
It parallels. So...
Is the Illuminati, like if you say their names like 3 times, like Beetlejuice, will they just appear?
No, it's basically a secret society. There's also a group called the Bilderberg Group.
The Build-A-Bear?
No. There is actually an annual meeting of the Bilderberg Group. So that is actually a real thing that everybody knows of.
I don't. You say everybody. Here I am. I'm a person, and I don't know that.
Now you do.
Now I do. Nor do I care, but I do.
So, and that group is a bunch of powerful, influential people from all over the world that get together, basically a conference, and who knows what they discuss. So
maybe they are talking about Build-A-Bears.
Probably not.
Or Skinwalkers.
Maybe, I don't know. But the Illuminati, it is probably a secret society.
Do they wear robes?
Possibly.
Oh,
I mean, there is the skull and bones thing. I believe Yale, that the George Bush and his father were both.
What?
Yeah, it's a secret society in one of the Ivy League universities. It's called Skull and Bones, and they were both members. Other powerful political figures have been part of that as well. The New World Order is basically, the idea is there's a group of powerful, wealthy individuals that are controlling and manipulating different variables of society, government, politics, geopolitical stuff to basically stay in power and to essentially enslave everybody else. So the masses are, whatever they're doing is to the New World Order individuals, they're the ones benefiting. So
fascinating.
Yeah.
Thank you. That's all I got. I have more, but I don't want to bring those up.
So the one I'm going to bring up.
Oh boy. Which one? Don't even say it.
There's 2 I want to bring up.
No. I think I know one, and I won't talk about it with him.
Well, I'm not going to go into any detail on these. I'm just going to give my opinion, and we'll leave it at that. And maybe the listeners will want a little more of my opinion about it. If they do, then I'll share that. And I believe that 9/11.
Yep, there it is.
And I believe 9/11 was, I don't think that it was just a terrorist act. I think that our government was involved in some way, shape, or form.
Can we leave it at that?
We'll leave it at that.
Thank you very much.
And the other one is Sandy Hook. I believe that the individual, I can't remember their name, that did Sandy Hook, I believe that they were whether it was a CIA, but I believe they were a agent, and they were used as a patsy for that attempt to further gun control legislation.
Okay. Well, okay. Well, that's something. See, I was hoping if I didn't bring up those 2, you just wouldn't say anything.
Well, you knew I was going to go there.
I knew you were probably going to go on one, but not the other.
But I kept it short.
Yeah, because both things that happened were tragic events.
Yes, absolutely.
And it should
Horrible.
never been used for personal gain for anybody.
No, I that's what's so sickening to me.
It is sickening. It is sickening, and I don't even want to talk about it, and now I'm depressed.
So I would encourage people to go do a little research, watch some videos, read some things about both of those that aren't the official story, and make up your own mind.
Can we just talk about ghosts again? They make me so happy. They're way easier.
Yeah. So
they're very friendly.
There's my...
well, some of them are friendly.
There's my kind of take on some of the conspiracy theories out there, some of the ideas and things that we don't talk about every day, that, you know, there is a lot of interest in these topics and a lot of information out there to try to digest, because there's people come at it from all different angles. So I just think that it's interesting. I think that when you start thinking about these things, I think that it does kind of broaden your horizons and make your bubble a little bit bigger.
I don't want my bubble bigger.
I know you don't.
I don't want my bubble bigger. I like my small little bubble. I like my small circle of friends. And I like living in that ignorant bliss. I'm not ignorant. I know what I know what goes on in the world around me. I just choose to live in a more of a positive, ignorant bliss until I'm forced to deal with the harshness and ugliness of this world. I prefer to not recognize it.
I get it. I get it.
You know, I want to skip around like my mother with my little bluebirds flying around my head. And then sometimes I have to remind you, I don't want to know.
I just had another thought for maybe another episode where I kind of get to be the star.
Are you going to edit too? Are you going to edit this episode and post it?
No,
oh,
probably not.
Come on.
I don't know how to do that stuff.
I didn't either. I taught myself.
You do it very well.
Thank you.
Other episode I did, and you guys let us know if this is something that might interest you. Horrible, weird facts in history.
Can we just do one about like weird laws that are still in place in different states? Because those are fun.
That would be fun too.
Like can't walk your donkey on the road on a Sunday. Like that's fun.
Do you know what the rule of thumb is?
Do I want to know what the rule of thumb is?
Probably not.
No, then
you
no.
You know that saying, right?
I know the saying, but I just said, no, I don't want to know. And you're still going to tell me.
I'm going to tell you. And you know, maybe this is like an urban legend.
Forcing my bubble to be bigger. Here we are.
This is an urban legend. Maybe, I don't know. But what I've heard is that the rule of thumb was basically a law that said you could beat your wife on the courthouse steps on Sunday with an object that was no bigger than your thumb, or like it couldn't be wider than your thumb. So like a stick or switch.
Interesting topic of discussion.
Yeah, it's Sunday.
I will beat the crap out of you.
Fun little urban legend law thing.
I don't like him. Anyway.
I would never beat you.
You better not.
Because I would get stabbed.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, you certainly you wouldn't survive. Like you wouldn't.
It'd be on like Donkey Kong.
Yeah, I don't play. I don't even.
I love you too much and adore you too much too.
And hopefully respect me enough never to do that.
To ever lay my hands on you to hurt you. My job is to protect you and love you and care for you.
Little words.
So.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
Okay. Well, if you stuck around till the end of this episode, I appreciate you so much. And Daniel appreciates you so much.
I don't know why you're so like, I don't know.
People come here to talk about ghosts.
They're probably going to be like, oh, wow. But it might spark somebody's interest to do some research on something.
Maybe it might.
Maybe these other folks want to blow their bubble up.
Or I get a 1-star review.
No.
Something might happen. I don't know.
No.
Thank you for listening, and thank you if you're still here for supporting us and supporting Daniel and his likes. And they're interesting, and God love him, right? God love him.
Thank y'all for putting up with me, and hope I didn't offend anyone. Hope that you maybe got a few chuckles out of this, and hope you enjoyed it.
Watch out for the Skinwalker's Loch Ness Monster. You know, watch out for Nessie. You know, he just might pop up. Just in, all the water systems are connected.
Don't think so. But maybe.
Watch out for those Bigfoots.
Yep.
And those UFOs, and just keep your eyes open, and follow me on TikTok and follow me on Instagram and send me your stories. And if you have any kind of idea for an episode, let me know. You can contact me via email or social media, and I'd love to hear from you. As always, thank you for listening, and they'll see you later.
Bye, y'all.
Bye.
With every Christmas card I write,
too loud.
May your days be merry and bright, and may all your Christmases be white.
Wow, that was weird.